Hello and welcome to Odyssey of Eternity. I'm GM Kenneth, and welcome to the Kenku Club for all of you watching. So, last we left off, in the darkness of Sossal, the party had rescued a man named Artyom who was begging for help in the city of Yevik. They helped him in what they thought was trying to find a powerful cleric to break the curse that had been laid upon him. With this, they struggled through the woods, encountering some eldritch horrors and other beasties in the woods that feel alive, leaving the organized cities far behind. After a day of walking about 10 miles through the woods, they eventually found not a temple, but a small cottage. As the man that they knew as Artyom, who they helped bring all the way here, did not ask them, in fact, to find a cleric to heal his affliction, but in fact wanted to see his family one last time before he turned fully to stone. The party had a wake with the widow and his son, and found a new friend in these two. They stayed the night with the widow and the family, and eventually said their goodbyes the next morning. The party then decided to head back to Yevik, seeing what more adventures or possibilities could be found in the town. Aphir will get to you, and Thrak will get to you in just a moment. As Aphir, you didn't have that great of a description, as your voice was gone last week, so we'll do that again this week.
That's fine.
So, the party makes their way back through the trails in which you followed to get here. Finding your way here is easier than, or finding your way back was easier than finding your way here. As you're not lugging a slowly petrifying man all the way through here, as well as you left some markers on the way, because it was not the easiest to carry a statue through the woods this far, and that leaves a mark. So you guys follow back, and you get back to Yevik before too long, towards late afternoon. And as you're going through, you guys decide that maybe finding some lodging might be for the best. Telwyn, you do have lodging at the Temple of Sune here. But you also know of a good tavern in town that also has rooms as well.
Okay, I'll lead everybody to the tavern.
Okay. And as you guys enter the tavern, you see it's quite sort of empty at this point. Usually this is around dinner time. You'd expect at least some people to be here. But for the most part, must be a slow day. You do see there's a young woman behind the counter. Large mane of brunette hair coming through underneath a bandana tied to keep her hair back. She stands behind the bar, bustling about, polishing, cleaning dishes, and the like. And as she sees you, she waves. You can have a seat anywhere, at the bar or at the seat. It is okay. Just find a spot, wherever you will. We have two guests here. I'll get to you in a minute. As you look, and you do see the man that you briefly found in the woods and then proceeded to leave, who was in the bag. You see Aphir once more, sitting at the bar, sort of drinking some soup. You also see a half-orc as well. So Aphir, let's get your description today, now that you actually can talk.
Alright then, Aphir would not be eating soup. He does not consume food like normal. He would just be sitting there, kind of playing with a stick, like a small leaf or like a stick or something like that he found on the ground, and just kind of sort of mumbling to himself, but not really, and then taking glances at Throck. Yeah, glances at Throck like, you're a big dude. The whole time he's like, okay, I'm kind of just here. Like, okay. But for what you guys see, now that I can actually talk, it is clearly a drow. Um, Slick black white hair. It looks rather young actually for most elves. Probably only about 100, maybe 90. So like fairly young. But that very, very deteriorates after his neck, and he looks incredibly gaunt. Like he is basically on the edge of starvation. Just you see his rib lines, you see the knuckles, like the bones in his knuckles, all the way up to like the point to where you can see he almost looks decrepit, but he's still very agile from the way he moves. And Ken, did we figure out if I have the little dude or not?
Yeah, you can have him.
Okay, cool. You see sitting next to him is a tiny mushroom, probably about the size of, I don't know, a football or something like that. And he just keeps, like, the mushroom has an eyes and face and everything like that, and just keeps looking up at Aether. And Aether's like, not now, not now, not now. Yeah, that's
Alright.
pretty much all you see. He has almost no possessions. He has a stick next to him.
Okay. And Thrak, what does the rest of the group see when they see you as well at the bar? And what would Thrak be eating and or drinking here?
Well, you'd see a 7.5 foot tall half orc, one tusk missing from the right side of his mouth, bald, wearing hide armor, not really in the mood to eat, but drinking ale,
Okay. Sounds good.
and kind of just looking around, keeping an eye out for somebody interesting.
Alright. And interesting you do find as the rest of the party walks in. We'll do quick character introductions for the two new players as well. So, Verne, why don't you start us off here with a character introduction?
So you would see a about 6 foot tall, black hair, pale skin, hair down to just past the shoulders, looking human, until you realize that their eyes are just a very bright silver color. And they look, mid 30s ish in age, wearing leathers, carrying a bow on their back. And their cloak is clasped with a very obvious symbol of the Raven Queen.
Okay. Next up, Agni.
Agni is about 5'8". She looks tall and slender, pointed elven ears. She has kind of copper golden skin and golden blonde sort of reddish hair, which seems to get brighter when she's angry, but you haven't seen that yet. Eyes are just really bright blue like the sky.
Okay. Next up, Telwyn.
Tellen's a pretty stocky, just a little over 6 foot tall human with a big, bushy, like reddish brown beard. Wearing studded leather armor and shield, and the one thing you'll notice is like the holy symbol hanging down Sune. Pretty quiet spoken, but definitely stocky. It looks like he might have maybe got lost in the woods a little bit with that beard, but not quite sure. But it's about the only noticeable thing, I guess.
All right. And then last but certainly not least, Vita.
When you see Vita, she is a 5 foot tall, young half elf woman with white hair and purple eyes. She's particularly petite with pale skin and a resting scowl, wearing leather armor with a skirt and a fine cape with blue on the outside and red on the inside.
All right. Next up, and that is as no one, as we have completed our introductions. So, the woman at the bar, after a while, comes up to you guys as you guys are seated. She's like, hello, my name is Galina Varga, and I am the owner here of this establishment. It's good to see you. It's not often we have visitors here that aren't the normal workers. Things have dried up a bit here late. The usuals don't seem to be coming in as much as they normally do, which is a bit odd, I should say, but what can you do? I don't think the food's gotten any worse. What can I do for you?
Oh, looking for some lodgings for the night.
Looking for some lodgings? I can do that. 2 copper for the night per room, if you'd like. Or you can share one. It's up to you. But it's not that many beds. But that is
Just
up
as
to
a
you.
clarification, how many beds per room normally?
There's 2 beds per room. 2 twin-size beds.
I will turn to the party to ask how we want to split the rooms.
I'm okay with rooming with whoever. I'm gonna ask her when, just as Bernay talks to me about splitting rooms, I'm gonna say, when did kind of the regular people slowly stop coming in?
It's been about 3 days now. It's been deader than a doornail around here. Usually I'll have Dimitri at least every day come in, the shepherd. And then even Svetlana, she who owns the Winter Bloom flower shop. She'll come in too. Haven't seen her in a couple days. But most of the villagers tend to eat here at least once a week. But I don't know, maybe they just haven't come in yet. Something just seems off.
Have you heard anything in passing? Like, if something's happened, or has it been just quiet?
It's been quiet. I haven't heard much in passing because there hasn't been anyone passing. But things feel just a bit odd in town. People are, I don't know, I seen someone last night sort of standing out in the moonlight, sort of looking off into the distance. Didn't pay it too much mind though.
Why not?
Sounds like this you keep to yourself. You don't want people starting gossip that you're the town nosy one. But please, I have 3 rooms available. It seems like there's 6 of you, so you can split it 2 per room, if that is something that is acceptable. It'd be a total of 6 copper for the night. And any
No,
food.
no need. No need. I sleep outside. I don't sleep in here.
It's awfully cold out there.
That's fine.
You're only skin and bone. You'll freeze to death.
No. I don't sleep outside. I don't sleep inside.
You concern me.
Yeah, he's been mumbling to himself for that a little football mushroom for a while.
Well, if you're gonna sleep outside, you should at least sleep right outside somebody's window in case you get too cold and you need to like edge in just a little bit.
I've slept outside my whole life. I don't like buildings.
You are a very odd person.
I could say the same about you.
Your mushroom is cute.
Thank you. He looks down at him and just starts. He thinks you're all interesting, especially the orc. He finds him very interesting.
You don't get out much, do you?
And on the contrary, I'm always out.
That's not what I meant. All right, that answers my question. All right.
Agni, would you like to room together?
Yes, please.
I am going to plop a gold onto the counter and say that is for the rooms, and if we could get some food as well.
Absolutely, it's too much. But thank you kindly.
Please, it's also to make up for the mumbling you may have heard.
It's
Yeah, I
kind.
think
When
it
you guys
works.
when you guys get close to him, you kind of see that his like pupils are just very very dilated always.
So many questions.
It's nice of you to do that for a stranger you haven't met before. So appreciate it. So, your rooms are upstairs. As she plops down 3 keys, 3 small copper keys. You break the keys. You got to pay for a new one at the smith. But doesn't happen often. Just don't drink too much ale and try getting into your room. If you need help, just call. More than willing to help if it means not replacing the locks.
That is fair.
Happens more than I care to admit.
That is also understandable.
No fights. That is something that I don't like in here. The standard rules: be courteous, kind. No touching where you're not supposed to be touching.
I want to fight fighting someone I don't like.
Then I please take it outside. The snow is quite comforting when one takes a tumble.
Yeah.
At least warn me and I can open the door and you can throw them out the door.
Ooh, fun.
So, she takes the time and she makes a quite serviceable meal for you guys. There isn't a ton of meats, but there is enough, and the meats that are there are mostly lamb, mostly veal, and vegetables seem to be hardier winter stock, and things that can survive in colder climates. But the food is quite serviceable, and you do have a good meal. After a bit, you notice no one has come in for quite some time. Not the entire time you've been here. And the town itself has seemed to be a bit quieter than it was before you left. When you left, it was an odd, orderly place. And now it's just quiet.
Vita will
So-
raise her hand very politely to attract the woman's attention as, I'm sorry, we didn't get your name, I believe. What is your name?
Galina. Galina Varga, at your service.
So you guys notice that Aphir is not eating at all, and when you guys take a bite of meat, he looks at you kind of disgusted. just kind of staring at all of you.
You know, it is in play to stare.
I wink at him and take a big old bite of meat.
He looks very, very concerned, gets up and moves to the table next to you guys. See, he waves his hand a little bit and then pops a berry into his mouth.
You're too
Alright, I'll be
skinny.
right
You
back.
need to eat more meat. And I toss him a leg.
I think he said he'd be right back. So I think he's away from the mic right now.
So you toss it, and he just sort of skitters back away from it a little bit, looking a bit distressed. But otherwise, the meal goes pretty all right. Bit of an odd duck there with Aethir, but you guys...
My good half-orc friend, I do not think we have been introduced with names. My name is Verne.
Apologies, I'm back. My food got here.
No, you're good.
I am Thrak.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
And he just nods while he takes another bite out of a leg of lamb.
And it is seasoned quite well with rosemary, and there's even some mint jelly as well for the lamb, as that is a very popular way to eat it here. The night goes on, and conversation ensues, and you guys end up going down for the night. You head back to your rooms that are appointed.
Who's rooming with who? Because we have someone who gets their own room.
I think it was Agni and Vita, Telwyn and Verne, and I think Thrak got the room by himself because Aethir didn't want a room.
That's fair.
I like that.
If you were just walks when everyone goes to bed, he just gets up and walks out.
As we're adjourning from the table, I'll look at the group and I'll ask them if they want me to go to my temple and find out if there's any news as to why the things have changed the last couple of days, or if they've heard anything, or people have come in, with prayers or whatnot, hoping for something.
If you wish to, yes. We could always go in the morning if you are more comfortable with that.
I'm perfectly comfortable with it.
Then please, I will be in the room once you return.
Okay.
I have questions. I would like to know when the blacksmith is open, the location of if you happen to see it on your way, and also, has anyone heard or remembers Artem, the man
Oh,
who
R2,
we
yes.
took over? R2.
So, Galena will tell you that very happily that the local smith is named Aaron Strongoak, and he is the local smith and woodworker. This one is spelled with an E, Aaron, not with an A.
Playing errands.
We're just gonna have to have this campaign just full of errands.
You'll know him by his large, burly build and thick leather apron that is usually covered in soot that he wears. And it's not too far from here. It's just a couple doors down. And during the day, it's very easy to find, as it usually has the largest smoke plume in town coming from it to keep it warm. And when you mention Artyom's name, she stops and she thinks for a little bit. I don't really remember him. No, the name doesn't ring a bell.
Well, he spent a great deal of time begging for help near the city's entrance. It's sort of surprising that nobody noticed.
people here don't seem to put their nose into other people's problems.
Yes, yes, you've mentioned that. I remember now.
So,
Allowing people to randomly stare at the moonlight for no apparent reason. That's right.
these things best left unsaid or answered. Things go bump in the night, and well, don't like to trouble myself. It's trouble enough
Sometimes
owning a
you have to
bar.
bump back.
What was that? Sorry.
Sometimes you have to bump back.
Aye. Sometimes you do. But we'll get to that if it gets to that. As of right now, I'm content doing this. Lifting a spatula and pouring drinks is so much better than hunting monsters in the woods. Better for my life expectancy as well.
Everyone has their hobbies. Everyone has their own way of life.
Aye, that they do. That they do. So, Telwyn, you end up heading back to your temple.
One sec. Telwyn, while you're leaving, you see Aphir outside. He sees you leaving, goes, where are you going?
I am going to visit my temple.
I want to walk with you.
Okay.
Is that okay?
I'm gonna look down at you and smile, and I'm gonna see this little like thing like hopping through the snow pile, and I'm gonna kind of snicker and laugh because I'm like, I guess it grew on him, maybe, you know, just kind of like, yeah. And then I'll give him a little like introduction to the temple he's going to. I don't, he may not be familiar with it, and like I'll explain him to the temple of Sune, and I'm just going to find out if something's changed over the last couple of days or they've heard anything as far as why everything's gotten quiet.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I just don't like it when people are out here by themselves.
Well, I appreciate your company.
I've seen some shit in these woods, and I don't like these.
So,
I have stories, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
so you guys make your way down a path, and the temple's just outside of the city proper. Just just outside the main gates to the west towards the boundary of the mists. Uh, it has one of the best views of the frozen sun hanging in the sky at all times. And during the day, that light comes through a stained glass window, causing some beautiful, almost aquatic like imagery into the temple. At night, when the moon is up and the light is dimmer, it's takes a the air of aquatic beauty and almost distorts it to a something darker. But as you come in, Telwyn and Aphir, you see the head priestess, Janice Davis, lighting candles and busying herself around doing the nightly chores around the temple. You see a couple acolytes here and there, just sort of either kneeling and praying or uh, taking care of their physical beauty and stuff like that, as this is a temple of Sune, a goddess of beauty.
I will approach and I will say, uh, um, how did you pronounce your name again?
Who? Aphir or the NPC?
The NPC.
Janice.
Janice. Janice. And I will smile and nod and like get down on a knee and kind of like a almost like a bow.
And she turns her long braided red hair with streaks of silver in it. Uh, sort of bobs behind her. She turns around as she gives you a worn smile. Uh, One that you've seen many times in your life, often and freely given, usually. Uh, this is one of the women who helped raise you in the temple, between your family and her influence. Ah, Telwyn, it is a wonder to see you tonight. What brings you by? I know you were out of town last night.
Yes, we tried to help a man, and we ended up helping him find his family. And he was cursed with some sort of paralysis or petrification, something I've never really seen before. But his wish was to be at home, so for now, like he's where he wants to be at.
It's a very honorable thing to do.
And
Sune would be pleased.
I'll be like, I met a group of travelers that helped and were very kind to help this man, and it was very appreciated in that moment. And look to her, and I'll be like, there's been some troubling news or puzzling things as of late, changes. It's been really quiet for some reason. We were just at the inn, and they said nobody's really been in the last couple of days. Has there been, people requesting prayers or, coming to the temple for, anything specific?
No, in all honesty, the temple was quite quiet today. We didn't have the amount of visitors that we normally do. The normal worshippers didn't come in today. At least, probably about maybe a quarter of them came in. The rest have not seen them today.
I I see Aphir with me, and I'm gonna be like, do you happen to know, like, understand nature and like the cycles of like the sky and the weather and that kind of stuff? I mean, I've read it in a book, but I really don't understand a whole lot about it. And I'd be
Are,
like,
are, are you asking me if I know nature?
um, I'm asking you if you understand, possibly if there's something outside that's causing this, whether it's weather or a time of the year or something.
I've spent most of my life underground, and there's currently a sun that's stuck in the same space. This place is fucked. Nature doesn't quite follow same rules.
And I kind of look at him and I'm like, yeah, I've grown up under some of this, but I was wondering if maybe you'd been in the region enough to know, like, if there's been even changes from what is typical, I guess.
Can I do a check to make sure?
Yeah, roll me nature.
Mm-hmm. Wow. All right then. 23.
I mean, like you said, this whole place is really off for the nature sense. Um, just a general, like, you haven't seen as many animals around the city lately.
Hmm. I don't like that. Hmm. Well, you see, it's. I understand this is a city, and most animals tend to avoid cities, but a lot of them really haven't been in this area. I've noticed that. I've been up in a few cities. Not even like stray dogs or cats or anything like that. So my I think it's something's probably going on where nature is avoiding this place. That's my naturistic uh, uh, opinion on what's going on.
And I'll look at Aphir and I'll appreciate his insight. And I'll look to her and I'll be like, well, if I happen to hear anything in our travels, I'll come back. and visit with you.
Much appreciated, my child. And good
And
luck out there, and stay safe.
I'll take a moment to pray, and then I'll look at Aphir and I said, I need about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. And you see he goes, sits in a corner, picks up the little mushroom, and just stares at it.
I'm going to use my ritual of ceremony. I'm going to create a vial of holy water and hand it to Aphir and say, maybe this will help you at some point.
Okay.
A blessing of Sune. And
No, thank you. You should keep that.
And I'll look at him and I'm like, I have a couple already.
Let's give it to the orc dude with no tusk. He should like that a lot.
I'll laugh and I'll be like, okay, if you feel that that's what I should do in this situation, I will oblige. And we can exit the temple.
All right.
I don't like holy things.
So, you guys make your way back to the city. And back to the tavern. And now get back into your rooms and let them know the party what was going on and what transpired there. Do you approach Thrak to give him his?
Yes,
his vial?
I will. Yep, I will hand this to Vrak, and I'll be like, "This is a blessing from me and the powers in which that I follow. May you protect you. May it be a light in your remote world. And I appreciate you joining us or introducing yourself." And I will kindly nod and hand it to him.
Okay, quick question. So what is he handing me? I'm sorry.
He knocks on your door because you're in your room at this point. It hands
Right.
you a vial of holy water.
Got it. Okay. I'll take it from him. Start sniffing it.
It smells faintly of roses.
Oh, might you drink this?
I mean, you could. I use it for ritual things, but you may like the taste of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. And I will politely nod, and I'll like rest well, and I'll shut the door behind me.
Okay.
I'll put it in one of my pouches and just kind of think about it.
Sounds good. So, you guys go to lay down for the night. Some of you look out the windows before you go to bed. Until when you do look out the window, and very briefly, something catches your eye. Something that's off. Something that's wrong. You see a woman standing in the middle of the street, in the middle of the city square, facing the east, and you see her lips moving as if she's talking to something. But what's the most odd about this is that despite the bitter cold here, she's practically naked from the waist up.
And I'm under the assumption this is a really uncommon thing for.
This is a very uncommon thing as someone who's lived in this town for a good chunk of your life.
I will look over to see if Verne's sleeping.
I would still be awake at this point.
Okay. I'll let him know what I saw, and I'll ask if he wants to go out and look at it and let the party know what we saw and go out and investigate this happenstance.
So if you remember, I'm not sleeping in the tavern. I'm kind of just out on the door sleeping.
Your passive perception isn't high enough, though.
That's fine. I'm just letting everyone know that
Yep.
I'm not in the building.
Yep. No, you're good.
Well, it may be a good idea to investigate, but not to interfere. Just merely observe and see what happens.
I assume only intervene if necessary.
That seems fair.
I will go out and find Agni's room and knock on the door.
Oh, Kenneth, if you just said something, it did not come through.
Sorry, I muted myself when I was sneezing, and then I forgot to unmute myself. There is a knock on Agni and Vita's door at this point.
Vita, did you hear that? I'm gonna see who's at the door.
All right.
If it's a guy, should I like send him away?
Depends on if he's cute.
Oh, good point. Okay, so I'm gonna check who's at the door.
You open the door and you see Telwyn at the door.
Oh, I open the door very wide.
I'll apologize for the intrusion, and I'll let him know what I saw at my window.
You saw a half-naked chick and you came to tell us? That is so considerate of you.
It just seemed unusual because how cold it is, and they were standing out in the snow.
It is unusual. Mm-hmm. Also,
That does match up
Also, what there?
with stories.
I just said also half-naked chick. Yeah, maybe we should go check it out.
Yeah, better to do this in numbers.
I agree.
All right, Vita will put aside the. She's been picking at the embroidery of her former cloak and will put it to the side as she gets up to go.
Okay. And then is anyone getting Thrath?
I will, you know what? Having just met him, I don't know if Verne fully knows whether or not to trust Vrack, so I don't think he would bother him.
Okay. Thrak, you do hear a commotion out in the hall later at night with these people talking outside the door. I will give you
Okay.
that one.
Do I need to roll an investigation or perception check?
No, it's just one of those things that like you hear a lot, like people really talking loudly outside your door. And
Okay.
it's just one of those things that you can either pop your head out and see what they're doing, or you could just go back to bed. It is your choice.
I'll pop my head out my door.
As you see them discussing going after a half-naked woman in the city square.
And I heard him say that?
Yeah, this you will like pop
Okay.
your head out right at like the time where Agni was talking about you seen a half-naked woman and you came to tell us, how considerate. Like that's the point where you pop your head out.
I grab my great axe, put it on my back, and start walking down, heading outside.
Okay. So you guys, while you're talking, you just see Thrak just start moving down that way. Did the rest of you guys follow?
I will follow.
Yes.
I'll follow.
Okay.
Yep.
Aphir, you sort of get woken up as the door opens wide and they knock a bit of snow off the roof that falls right on your back. So you get woken up with a start as you see the group starting to move them towards the city square.
Yeah. What do we hear? Who? Huh? Oh, hey. Hi. How are you guys? Okay. I guess we're going that way.
If you wish to join us, then that is your choice.
You wanted to find a half-naked woman.
Let's go that way.
So you guys make your way there, and Telwyn, as you approach, you recognize this woman as Bogdana, a farm worker that helps out in one of the local farms. And as you approach, she briefly looks your way, and then you see her lips stop moving as she stares off to the east.
Looking at the sky to the east.
Not quite to the sky, but not, but like just sort of like dead straight ahead to the east.
Okay. What's in that direction?
Looking through, you see there is a temple of Ogma in that direction. You see there is a graveyard. You see that there is some different buildings, small farms.
Is there anything happening in the direct, say, the cemetery or the graveyard that I can make out? Or do I need? Yeah.
Not from this, from this far. As there's a couple buildings between you and that.
Hmm.
So, but that's just the general direction in which she's staring.
Okay.
Can anybody tell what's like if she's in some sort of state or something? You know, because like she looked at us, but like really never spoke to us or really never, acknowledged us, and she's just kind of standing out here half naked. Like, is she sleepwalking, or is there something else going on, or
Are there any tracks close by leading in that direction?
Not in that direction, but you do see some tracks leading from her to a small house, about like maybe 60 feet away, off the city square, to the west.
Okay.
And as you guys are sort of like trying to like look at her and like figure out what's going on, she just looks at you. She's like, "It's impolite to stare, dearies," and she just turns around, not even a care in the world. Oh, and then walks back to the house in which she came from. Very
I would say
methodically.
there's very many weird things happening in this town.
So she's going back to her home, or from where she came from?
That's what it looks like, yes.
I'll kind of follow behind her, keeping back a few paces, but making sure she gets there and kind
Yeah.
of check out the house if I can.
Are you trying to do this stealthily, or are you just trying to just sort of overtly just sort of follow her to make sure everything's okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just overtly.
Okay. So she doesn't even seem to like recognize that you're like following her, because you're not a very small person. You're a very large half orc that sort of a bit of a uh, especially of a viewpoint, especially in a quiet dark night. But she goes, opens the door. As she opens the door, give me a very quick perception check.
Okay.
So this will be a d20 roll, and adding a perception modifier.
7.
You see what looks to be a family sitting around a dinner table in the house as the door shuts.
Okay. I start walking back towards the group.
I'm gonna look at the rest of the group standing here, and I'm confused. I'm like, has anybody ever heard of or seen anything like this before?
I have not.
Yes, but normally there's more dancing involved.
Yes, however, I guarantee it's not what I'm thinking.
I think we should go check out the graveyard.
Smiles and winks at Vita when she makes the comment about dancing.
So
Vita will grin back.
So Thrak says he would like to check out the graveyard.
It's not a bad idea, friend.
That's fine.
I will follow.
I
We're
like
going to check out a graveyard at night.
Yes.
Not the weirdest thing I've ever done.
Was it the wisest thing you've ever done? A
Yes.
large smile is on her face with more teeth than actual smile.
You see Verity just kind of looks down at their symbol of the Raven Queen, and then looks back up at you, kind of just shrugs.
Hmm.
I'm going to start heading towards the cemetery.
Okay.
When we get to the entry point, Ken, I'm going to use my divine sense.
All right. So, you guys find yourselves in make your way through the graveyard, or not through, but to the graveyard. Pushing and through the snow, trudging quite difficultly in some points to get closer and closer to where you're looking. And after some time, you do find yourself in the graveyard. Looking through, you see looks to be about almost 2 acres. There's a small cobblestone fence surrounding the entirety of the place. And the snow is very well maintained and kept away from the headstones. You see grave blankets covering and dotting a lot of the graves. You see there is one large temple, no longer used, with the roof collapsed in, as you see several smaller mausoleums in the area and crypts. The wall isn't high enough to keep you guys out if you guys would just like to walk over it. It's about knee high for most people. And the gate is locked and sealed at this point.
I'm going to say a quick prayer before I decide to step over the band. It's a little wall deal there.
I will also step over the wall.
Okay.
Is there, besides the temple that's in disrepair, you said there's grave blankets covering some.
Most of the
Is there any-
graves.
Most of the graves?
Yep. Not all, but a good chunk of them.
Anything out of the ordinary besides that? Any kind of...
Not really. It seems like most of this place is very well maintained, very lovingly kept. And it seems like this is probably where a good chunk of the city's money goes to, is into maintaining this place. Telwyn will be able to tell you it's mainly due to superstition here, to keep the dead exactly that, dead, and at rest in their final resting place.
As they should be.
Do I know what happened to the Temple of Agma? At least like enough that I could kind of.
So this temple hasn't been used in quite some time. The Temple of Agma is in a different part of the city. But this temple, no one's really been in here. It's sort of a no-go zone in the city. And most people don't talk about it. The deity that once was worshipped here has been lost to time.
Aether walks into the temple.
question. What is the lighting out tonight? Like, how much light
It's
is
dim.
there from the moon? Is it okay?
It's dim.
Kind of in the center of where we're going, I would like to, well, I guess, actually, never mind. I have to wait till I get there. I want to cast light on something, so we have kind of a radius of vision.
Okay.
Aether does not like that.
So just as you're starting to enter the temple, you see a bright light appear above the graveyard. As you see a woman standing in scale armor, arms crossed with a light hovering above her shoulder. Who goes there? Who desecrates the graveyard this night? Answer to Sheriff Dragoslava. Appear and be heard, and be counted.
Hello, Aether.
Does the rest of the group turn to acknowledge this woman?
Yes, I'll
Yeah.
acknowledge.
Yeah. Vita will look to Thrak and go, well, you're the one who brought us out here.
What are you doing in the graveyard this time of night? It is bad.
Half-dressed woman staring in this direction. Came to check it out.
It is something that you should direct to the city watch. Myself in particular.
Oh, yeah, we were heading here just to let you know, because I just had a feeling you would be here. So we just came to follow up and report it to you, make sure everything's fine.
I'm going to guidance when she goes to say that.
You're going to what?
I'm going to give her guidance when she goes to say that.
Okay, give me a deception check there, Agni.
And for guidance, I added D4.
A D4, yep.
Yep.
Okay, I have to just roll that separate and add it.
Yep.
19.
19, okay. She sort of scrunches up her face. It is odd you came to check here, as my house is on the other side of the city. But you seem like newcomers, so I can believe that. As you don't always have the right way of doing things. But that is okay. Please, leave this area and I will search, and I will investigate. It is my job, my duty. Go back to where you were residing for the night, and I will find you in the morning and tell you what I find.
Can I do an insight check on this when he says, A, we should have went to his house, and B, he's standing here in the middle of the night doing something?
Yeah, you can give it insight honor. And you know this as Sheriff Dragoslava Dinte. She has been the sheriff of the town for quite some time.
I'm gonna do the same on that because I don't know people.
Okay.
15.
Okay. What did you get, Aether?
I got a 9.
Oh, I rolled as well. I hope that was okay.
Yeah.
I got a 24 on insight on her.
Yeah, you believe that she'll definitely check this out for you guys. She takes her duty very seriously.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to have backup.
I promise I can manage this on my own. I've been the sheriff of these parts for quite some time at this point. I know how to handle myself. As you see quite a few scars upon her face and the skin that is exposed to the night air.
Okay, just thought I'd offer. No worries at all.
I appreciate it. It is heartwarming to see newcomers so worried about our town. And she looks to you, Telwyn, and sort of tuts her tongue a little bit. You'd think a cleric of Sune would know not to go to the graveyard at night. I'll have to have a word with Miss Janice.
I'll be like, I just spoke with her, and that whole we were outside. Well, we actually went back to our rooms and saw this, and so we went to investigate, but we didn't see nothing. So, I mean, all we can do is report it to you, and I'm gonna ask them. I'm like, what were you doing in the graveyard?
I heard
This
I heard the commotion. People sort of talking in this area, and turned out that it was you folk.
We were just looking in the way that the half-naked lady was looking. I came to find out if something was wrong.
And I appreciate that. It is very much appreciated. Do you know the name of the woman that was in the town square, you say? The half-naked woman?
Bogdana. Does she do that often?
Never had a history of it, no. Not even the sleepwalking. I can check on her. Actually, why don't you check on her while I do this? I'll check out the graveyard. You check on Bogdana.
Oh, we'd be happy to help.
If you could. My deputy is currently out sick at the moment. I have not seen him in a couple days. So if you could, go check on Bogdana for me. That would be most appreciated. And I will check out this graveyard here. Check out if there's anything else here.
Does he have a name or appearance? What does he look like? In case we happen to come across him as we wander.
Oh, the deputy? Or Bogdana?
Yes. The deputy.
Ah, yes. My deputy. His name is Dragomir. And he is... Well, he's a beanpole. But he knows how to fight. Squirrely one. Never seen a man be able to get out of the way fast enough. He used to steal things. Plucked him out of the jail cell, and now he works for me. Do not steal stuff.
Man squirrel.
I'll remember that one. Man squirrel. I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm going to head back towards town, head towards Bogdana's house.
Okay. The rest of the group follow?
I am following.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
So. You start making your way back to town. And after a while, you arrive at the doorway of Bogdana's house. So, question for you all. For Theater of the Mind, or not Theater of the Mind, for actual combat maps, I know we have new characters now. So with new characters come possibly new colors. So, the door is right here, by the way. Can everyone see the map?
I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. The door is right there. Put that back. And she has a small house. So, for color-wise, I have these little, very colorful pawns. I have green, red, pink, yellow, blue, white, and orange and purple. So, my question for you guys is, what color would you like? I will roll for this because we have 6 people.
Hey, Kenneth, actually, I don't know, just an idea, since we have somebody in the party with color issues, Can we just like let that person kind of
Oh, absolutely,
say
yes.
which colors are the easiest for them to differentiate?
I totally forgot about that. Yes. So Schneidi, what color can you see the best?
White on what you've got going on. White's the easiest one for me to see.
Okay, so I have white right there. Perfect. Thank you for the reminder there, Agni. I almost completely blanked out on that. So, next up.
I have pink. I have pink.
We will get to that in a second. Next up, Thrak. What color would you like? We have pink, green, blue, yellow, orange, red, and purple left.
Green.
Green, all right. So Telwyn is white. Thrak is green. Aether, you want pink? All right. Agni, what color would you like? We have purple, yellow, blue, red, and orange left.
You know what? Let's go with orange.
Vita, what color would you like? I have yellow, purple, red, or blue left.
Purple.
Purple, all right. And Verne, what color would you like?
I will take the blue.
And I'm genuinely actually writing down what color everyone is this time. That way I don't forget. So, as you guys approach the house, you see the lights are on. You see a gentle smoke rolling out of the small chimney lined up next to the house. The door is slightly, ever so much ajar. Not by much, but a little bit.
Oh god, not the alien dice.
Okay, I'm not rolling them against you, so you're safe. These alien dice are player killers. Whenever I roll them against players, they almost always roll max damage, so I use them as tokens, not actual dice half the time.
Good to know.
I would just like to point out that the dice that is marked number 3 from this angle looks like a face with its tongue pointing out.
Ah.
It does.
So this is a table in here, as the dice are just sort of sitting about the table. But the door is ever so slightly ajar. First one to get there would have been Thrak, as he was the first one heading in this direction. Marching order for the rest of you. How does this look, or would you like it differently?
I'll be to Thrak's right.
I'm fine with
our right, the other side. There we go.
I'll be to his left.
Okay. Vita, Aether, Agni, is that fine where you're at, or would you like to be somewhere else?
That is fine.
Yep, I'm good. Wherever.
That's good.
Okay. So, the door is slightly ajar as you guys approach this. You feel the heat coming sort of out of the room.
I'm not completely without manners. I'll knock on the door.
As you knock on the door, thunk, 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 the door sort of creaks open a bit further. As you see two children sitting at the table, hands perfectly on top of the table. As you see two adults, a male and a female. The female being
Agana.
Bogdana, yes. Ah, I lost my Discord. Where'd it go? There we go. Being Bogdana. The other, what seems to probably be her husband. Bogdana still does not have her shirt on yet. Just sort of sitting there at the table. Her husband, everyone else is fully clothed. She is just not. And no one seems to be paying any heed to that as well.
So there's still some, well, they're in a trance of some sort.
A little bit, yeah.
I'll call in. Excuse us?
Can we come in?
As you say that, all the heads sort of swivel to you at once. And in unison, yes, come in.
That's
That's
not
not
creepy
suspicious.
at all.
Yeah.
I want to use my
I
mind
don't.
sense again when that happens. Getting this weird, like, poltergeist.
Yeah, so your divine sense does not sense anything undead.
Okay, I'll step in through the doorway and just kind of have a real quick look around, see if there's anything else going on or somebody else we're not seeing.
Doesn't seem to be anything else in the room. You do see there are a couple small beds up against the wall in like a bunk bed fashion
Okay.
along this wall here. Other than that, there's the small dinner table and there's a small fire next to the doorway in which you just opened right here.
Alright.
But no one else in the area. As they all call out, please, come in. Shut the door. Let's talk. It's not often we get visitors.
Oh, I effing bet.
I will enter behind Throck.
Okay. Anyone else?
Can I just take
If
a
you're-
look
Go
around
ahead.
maybe the roof? Just look around the outside for a moment. Just scan.
You sort of go to the outside of the house. You look up. You don't see anything. On the roof, you see a gentle piping pillar of smoke from the chimney. Other than that, you don't see anything. You do see that there is a window, it looks like, on the back. You see light coming from the back.
Okay.
Aether, what are you doing here? What's your play?
Aether doesn't like this, so Aether's gonna, until the last person goes in, he's gonna be one of the last people that go in.
Okay. Agni?
This is making me pretty uncomfortable as well, but I don't want to waste a spell slot, so I don't have very many yet. So I am going to actually I'm gonna go around probably with Vita and look to see if there's like another entrance and probably go kind of station myself at the other window or around in that direction.
So you guys got there. Next up, Telwyn, what are you doing? Are you entering or going around?
I will enter in behind Thrak.
Okay. So, did you come in after? There. And then Aether, are you going in? Or are you waiting for the two ladies outside?
Aether will be waiting. If yes.
As the three of you enter the room, yet again, the four reiterate, shut the door, let's talk. It's awfully chilly outside. It's warm in here. Shut the door.
Thrak's gonna go to the door
Okay.
and put my back against the door to keep it open.
Okay. And with that, that'll be initiative, as they all sort of jump up from from their chairs, the two children and the two adults, and rush you.
Oh boy. Uh,
So, Thrak, what is your initiative?
4.
All right, Agni.
11.
11. Verne.
I got a 19.
All right, Aethir.
12.
Vita.
18.
And Telwyn.
4.
All right, and we'll see what the family gets. So first off, one of the children, number 2, is gonna let out this unearthly, like, wail, jaw distending out as you see almost vine-like tendrils down its throat as it screams at you as it starts to run. It is going to go right after you, Thrak, here, as you're the one holding the door against what they asked.
Okay.
That'll be a 21 to hit you
That'll hit.
for 7 points of bludgeoning damage as it and just slams right into you.
Okay.
But then that is its turn. Next up is going to be Verne. You are the next to react to this.
Very obviously doesn't appear human once I see those weird vines in its throat.
Yeah, does not appear human in the slightest at this point.
Hey. Then I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to pull my short swords and swing twice at it.
Okay.
Yeah, one of those is going to miss because it's under a 10.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is over 20.
That'll hit. Is this your main hand offhand?
Yes, that was
Okay.
main hand miss, offhand hit.
Yep.
So it's 5 points of piercing damage from the short sword.
All right. As this plant-like monstrosity of a child is sort of like clawing at Thrak, you just come up and you stab it right in the side with your sword, pulling out as you see a sickly green ichor dripping from your blade. Anything else there, Verne?
No.
All right, Vita, it is your turn.
Alrighty. Vito will head back towards the door and try to get in crossbow range to wait for maybe an opening to just shoot at an enemy.
You have a clear line of sight of the number 2 in the doorway, the that childlike plant monstrosity going after Vrak.
Okay, perfect. Then I will take a shot at it. That's a 23 to hit.
Just a little bit. More than double its AC.
8 damage.
8 damage, all right. As you guys see, a bolt sort of careens through one temple and out the other as the green ichor sort of drips from the wound, it's still like clawing and slashing at Vrak, and still standing even after the blow to the head. Anything else, Vita?
No.
Okay. Aether, it is your turn.
Okay, so Aether's gonna go, oh god, these things are terrifying. Oh, wait, good, they're not animals, I can kill them. And he kind of, like, he walks, like, towards the door.
Okay.
And kind of stands, yeah, right there. And, I'm gonna use an action to activate my spores.
Okay. Aren't those a
Um,
bonus action for you?
nope, action.
Okay. They changed it
Um,
since playtest.
yes, in action, because bonus action is OPAF. So yeah, action, activate my spores. And I'm going to wait, and if one of them is within 10 feet of me, at the start of their turn, I need to know.
Okay. You are currently 10 feet away from one of them, so if it's at the start of their turn and they're 10 feet?
Yes, if they are at the start of the turn or enters my 10 feet.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, that'll be it.
All right. The next podling 4, is just going to stand up, jump on the table, and is going to attempt to hammer down on onto Verne. Verne, that will be a unnatural 20 to hit you
Yeah, that'll hit.
for 8 points of bludgeoning damage as they clip you right upside the head with this one.
I also got temporary hit points from that, just letting you know.
Okay. And that was the father sitting there, slamming down upon you. Agni, it is your turn.
Well, I'm gonna come in range so that I can cast a spell.
You are orange, so 10, 15, 20. Get you the line of sight on at least 2 of them without...
Okay, I'm actually going to cast Bless on
Okay.
the 3 of my teammates who are in the building.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be Verne, Thrak, and Telwyn. You all can add 4 on attack rolls and saving throws.
Yay.
Very nice and very helpful. Anything else there?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Next up, the woman formerly known as why did I switch the male names again? To Bogdana. She's jump over the table. 5, 10, 15. She is going to jump across, fly, and then she's going to try to land a punch right into Verne, you as well again. That'll be a 14 to hit you.
14 matches.
All right. For 7 points of bludgeoning damage from this one.
Ow.
Next up is going to be the last child. It's going to run up and is going to punch at Thrak. It does technically enter a 10-foot radius of you. Does cover affect it at all?
Don't think so.
Okay, because you don't currently have line of sight on it, but it is within 10-foot radius. And the door is open, so spores, yeah, those would work. So it does enter your turn.
A creature you can see within a creature you can see. So
Okay,
no,
so
it would
yeah.
have to be me.
You cannot see.
That's kind of annoying.
Good to know though for future. Thrak, this is going to try punching at you. That'll be a 15 to hit you, Thrak.
That hits.
All right, for another 8 points of bludgeoning damage. As these things are rolling really good for damage. I'm sorry, guys. Telwyn, it is your turn.
Um,
And
I'm gonna
Thrak, you are on deck.
I'm gonna draw my sword and shield and try to attack one of the ones that's between me and Threat.
So you can attack this one right here, number 2,
Okay.
which is the child that was initially on him.
Okay. All right. 15 to hit
15. That'll hit
for 9 damage.
for 9 points. As you slice a good chunk of it in half, you take from half of its head all the way down to its hip. Part of it slides off as you see green tendrils inside of it, looking almost like vines, as it's still like hissing in utter agony and pain and hatred. As it's still up, but barely. Anything else?
I'm looking a little bit mortified at this point of what had just transpired. No, I'm good as far as the rest of my action.
Okay. Thrak, it is your turn.
I would like to rage.
You can absolutely rage.
And I'm going to strike.
Number 2 looks very close to not moving anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them have not been really hit. You are in range of 3 out of the 4.
Okay, I'm going to go for the one that looks at number 2.
Okay.
Get her out of the way.
All right.
I'll be using my
Great.
great axe.
Okay.
And uh, 9 plus 6, 15 to hit.
That'll absolutely hit.
Okay. 16 points of damage.
Wow, that's a hell of a hit. As you come down, full rage, you come down and you cleave the part that was already cut in twain. You cut that in 2 once more, as it falls down and it starts oozing into a green ichor onto the floor, no longer moving. Anything else there?
No, that's it. That's all I can do for now. Do I still have movement?
You do, yeah. But you don't have a lot of it where you can move without taking opportunity attack from one of the other enemies.
Right. I have one that's directly behind me, correct?
You have 2 that are adjacent to you. One that's right next to you, the other one that is diagonal from you.
Okay, I'll just turn to face whoever is at, I guess number 3 there.
Okay, sounds good. Anything else?
A quick question about the bless. That was +4 to.
To your attack rolls, not the damage, but the d20
Right.
roll to attack.
Okay.
So for that 15, you could if you roll an additional die 4 when you do that, and
Right.
that'll put your total.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yep, not a problem. Back up to the top of the round is the dead creature that you just slew. Verne, it is your turn.
I am going to Oh Lord. I'm gonna disengage and back out of the house past my allies.
Alright, so 10, 20, 25 gets you right there.
Because I'm extremely hurt right now, so I feel like to save my own health, I should probably not be in the midst of them right now.
I mean, fair assessment. Anything else there?
I will... No, I'm good.
Okay. Vita, it is your turn. You see Verne stumbling out, bloodied, of the house as one of his
Alrighty.
creatures have fallen.
Can I see number 4?
Yep, you have a direct line of sight on 4. Well, almost direct, as 2 people have stepped in your immediate pathway from where you're standing.
I'm going to step... It seems best for me to step close to Verne because I'm going to do something with my bonus action too, so...
Okay. That gives
let's
you,
go for...
it'll have quarter cover from you, but still easy to hit.
Got it. I will use the crossbow to go after number 4.
Okay.
That's an 18 to... No. Yeah, 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
And that's 9 damage.
9 points of damage. Alright, as the bolt sinks into it again, you see the green ichor sliding out of the wound, but it just howls in anger at you. Alright, Aethir, it is your turn.
Wait, I have a bonus action.
Sorry.
Alrighty, for Verne, I'm going to use Healing Light. And use one of my die from the healing pool.
Sounds awesome.
Unfortunately, it's only a 3.
3 points is better than what he had.
Yes, you just doubled my current health, so, you know.
Oof. Oof.
Oh, it's a big oof.
I took 2 very large hits right away, and it brought me down to 3 health.
Anything else there, Vita?
No, that's it.
Alright. Aethir, it is your turn. Also, remember everyone, if you left a review last week, you did start with inspiration this week.
And can Aethir get in between the 2 dice the alien had and then the other one?
Where I was?
Right here?
It's right there.
Exactly
there.
where I was.
You
Cool.
can.
Then Aethir's going to
spot.
look at the child one. Is the child up on the table?
Yes.
Cool. He's gonna whack the child. And he's going to use one of his abilities from the thing. 19 on die to hit.
19 will hit.
Cool. Do you want me to separate damage? I'm gonna bonus action Shillelagh.
No, they don't.
2. Sorry. Okay, cool. Because I do also necrotic damage, so. 10 magical bludgeoning and 5 necrotic.
So 17? No, 15.
15. Yes.
Right.
As he's gonna.
You see it start to wither a bit, but it still
He's
stays
gonna-
up.
He's gonna whack and go, "Get off table! That's not polite."
Anything else there, Aethir?
No, Aethir's gonna just kind of stare at the child for a minute.
All right. That child then is going to proceed to try punching you, Aethir, right in the face for...
Is it his turn?
It is his turn.
Well, I need him to make a con save.
That gets a 14.
So he takes half. He takes 2 points of necrotic damage as the flies surrounding me kind of peck at him.
All right, as he starts his turn, he does not get a turn as the flies finish him away. Was the 2 already halved?
Yes, the 2 was already halved. I rolled
Yes.
4 halved.
As he sort of withers away to a husk lake, which quickly turns to a gelatinous green ooze.
That was not natural.
I mean, most people don't have writhing green tentacles in their mouth.
Next up, Agni.
You don't travel on my circle.
Okay, so the number 1 alien head is the big half-naked chick, right?
Yes.
Okay. How hurt is she looking, and do I have visual on it?
You are orange. You currently don't have a visual. You'd have to walk up to the doorway to get a visual.
Okay.
Also, she does not look hurt. Neither does her husband. As you guys have killed both of the children first, and now we're going after the.
We've made them watch the murder of their children. Yes. Okay. If I've got line of sight on her, then I would like to cast. Oh shoot. Sacred Flame. I need a Dex saving throw on her. DC 13.
She gets a 17.
Okay.
So no damage on that one.
Correct. Okay, and then bonus action healing word on. What's Josh's character's name? Verne.
Okay.
That is an extra 4 hit points for you.
As you almost
Yay.
double it again.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Next up are the 2 creatures' turns that remain, and they both fail their con save for the spores. Or is that a?
That is a reaction.
Oh, it's a reaction. Okay.
Yes.
So nothing there.
Let me double check that to make sure it is just a reaction.
Can I still back up?
Yeah.
Just one space. I just don't want to block line of sight for anybody else.
Nope, you're absolutely fine.
Yes, reaction.
Okay. So next up, the 2 creatures are going to go. One is going to punch Thrak, or 3 is going to punch Thrak. 1 is going to punch you, Aphir. Start with the one on Thrak. That is going to be a 6 to hit, which will miss you, Thrak. The one on Aphir is going to be a 20 to hit.
Yes.
For another 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
To me?
To you,
Crap.
yes. Telvin, it is your turn.
I see Aphir get hit, and I'm going to be like lean towards Thrak for 2 seconds, and when he goes to lean, I'm going to put my foot on the table and use his shoulder and like spin around him as I'm moving, and going to switch to using my longsword with both hands.
I collapse.
Oh, you collapse?
I am frail. I am skin and bones.
So
Did
did that knock you down?
Yeah, that totally would have knocked me down.
No, like, are you bleeding out, like dying?
Oh, no. I didn't. I only had. You guys only knocked temp from me.
Oh, okay, just double checking.
I'm more using you to like lean, not necessarily push on you, but like slide in between and like step on the table and kind of spin around you. I'm not actually pushing off of you. I guess
Fine, I don't go down. You do dislocate my shoulder. Don't worry, I'm just gonna pop it back in place.
All right, so you're on the table there.
Okay, and then I'm gonna use my attack and smite the smiley alien deal.
Okay.
Uh, 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
$18 points of damage.
18 points. All right, it's still standing, but barely. As you see green ooze and ichor sort of splattering across the floor from your swing. Anything else there, Telwyn?
I just hop off the table.
So we pop off. All right, Thrak, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to attack the husband with my great axe. $20 to hit.
20 will hit.
Okay. $10 damage.
10 damage. All right. So he's still standing as you rend a good chunk of his shoulder out. He sort of lets out that sound back at you in anger as you do attack him. Anything else there, Thrak? Did you add your rage damage, by the way?
Probably not.
Okay.
Apologize.
Nope, you're totally good. I'm just making sure I'm not jipping you any damage.
No, I forgot to add the +2 on there.
Yep. So all right, an additional 2 points of damage. Yeah, that's the one thing about D&D Beyond. It doesn't automatically add it in for you, which is sort of upsetting, but that is okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
With him kind of doing that screech, whatever, I'll let out a shout of my own straight at him.
Sounds absolutely perfect. And is that it for your turn?
That is.
All right. Verne, it is your turn.
All right. I am going to step all the way into the far corner of the room.
All right, so you are blue, so right there.
No, the other far corner. Yep, right there. I'm going to pull out my bow. And you know what? I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on this, just number 1.
Okay.
And then I will shoot an arrow. $13 to hit.
13 will hit.
Yay! So that is a D8 and an additional D6. 14 points of piercing damage.
You said 14 points?
14.
All right, sounds good as that one drops. As you blast it with the your Eldritch Blast.
No,
Or
I
not
have
your
arrows
blast,
in this
arrow,
campaign.
Sorry. So used to you
Wrong
playing
character.
a warlock. So you shoot your bow, cast your Hunter's Mark. It ripples and just blows out on it as it is dead. Anything else?
No.
All right. Next up, Vita. Your turn.
Alrighty, Vita will step in and try to Eldritch Blast the final one.
Okay.
$17 to hit.
17 will hit.
12 damage.
12 damage. That's one heck of a Eldritch Blast. As it barely is on its feet, you see a large spattering of green slime coat the side of the wall as most of its torso is blown away. It has one arm still standing, as its legs are sitting there. Green tendrils are writhing up from the mutilated part as it's still up. Anything else?
Just die already. And done.
All right, Aether, your turn.
Aether's gonna look a little agitated that his temporary hit points went down, and he can't do his fun stuff if he doesn't have a temporary hit points. He is going to still shillelagh and beat him. No.
Okay.
Do a modified 20 to hit,
That'll hit.
and wow, another max damage at 10 points of magical bludgeoning.
As that one crumples to the ground and instantly turns to goo. As combat ends. So, with the end.
What are those things?
What did you say?
What are those things?
That is an excellent question.
Maybe once a family?
Hmm.
I'm gonna pull out my rag and holy water and wipe my blade off and say a prayer, and I'm gonna look at Thrax, and then I'm gonna reach out since it's not combat, and I'm gonna heal him 5 points with my lay on hands.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be like, no, thank you. May I call you friend?
Yes.
I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna ask if anybody's ever seen anything or even heard of anything like this before.
No, don't think so.
Nope, no, this is nope. Don't know what the fuck this is.
No, but I don't think it's wise to move from that door. They seem very adamant about having it closed.
Very.
What are they gonna do now?
It
So-
might be a trap.
Get a mop.
So you.
Would survival help me in this instance to try and identify what these might have been?
I would say survival or arcana.
Okay. Let me do a survival check here. 16.
Does
All right, I'll get to both your questions here in a second. I'll start with Thrak. 16.
16 plus 3, sorry.
Okay, so 19.
19.
You get like the briefest thought of something to do with maybe you think changelings, but that doesn't make sense because they were plants. And as high of a roll it is, you're still puzzled by what this could be.
Okay.
But you definitely know it's something plant-based from looking at like the ichor that's on the ground. It almost looks like if someone liquefied what was left after someone mowed the lawn. Like if they made it like a large smoothie out of the lawn clippings.
Like a kale smoothie.
Yeah, all over the place, on the walls, on the table. And there's no physical corpse left of any of them. It all has gelatinized.
Hmm.
And very quickly as well.
These seem like some sort of changelings.
And then to answer your question, Telwyn, the holy water doesn't seem to do anything different besides than normal water on this to clean your blade.
Okay. like those other things we came across. It kind of bubbled and it doesn't do any of that stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And at this point, this is where we're going to take our 10-minute intermission for the night. So you can get up, stretch your legs, go to the bathroom if you need, get a snack, and we'll come back in 10 minutes.
Okay.
So let me just put our Be Right Back screen on, and then mute all of the so that way we can hear everyone's wonderful voices. All right, we are back. Thank you for being so patient, everyone watching at home. We resume as our party members stand in a green ichor-filled room. Blood, guts, and gore everywhere. But all plant-based. The vegan murder scene. So, what are you guys doing? As you guys were discussing what these things were.
We should probably tell the sheriff about this.
Yes, let's go back to the sheriff. I think that, a quadruple homicide needs to be reported.
Does someone have a vial to put some of this goo in?
I do not.
I
No.
don't believe I do either.
Nope.
Could I take a quick look around the room?
Yeah. You see there's like cups and like just standard like wooden cups, bowls, plates. Nothing fancy, nothing like that seems sealable. Not even like a mason jar or something like that.
Hey, Ken, quick question.
Yeah.
Like resin or material that these things decomposed into, can I use my alchemy kit to determine like what origin it is?
That would take some time to do that. If you wanted to do that, that would take like a short rest worth of time.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll try to goop up some of this or whatever in a tube or whatever I might have in there and just stick it in there, and when we go to rest or whatever, I'll take a look at it.
Okay, you have like probably like a vial or two in an alchemy kit, I would assume.
Yeah.
Because what is alchemy without beakers? And test tubes. So you are able to get some of this green goop up into your stuff. You guys turn and leave the room. Do you leave the door open or do you shut it behind you?
I shot it.
Okay. As you guys start making your way back through the city, heading towards the graveyard, when you get like back to the city square, you actually see Dragoslava actually heading your way as well. Hello. Did you find out what was going on with Bogdana?
We killed them.
Their family had
As-
become plant monsters.
As soon as you say you killed them, she immediately puts her hand on her sword.
Okay. Afer, more. Good lord, you got to explain more than that.
You
The
killed the family?
The family became plant monsters, attacked us, and then they became green goop.
Huh.
I don't think it was actually the family.
Interesting.
They're dead now.
She looks at you very concerned. This is interesting. I did not find anything in the the graveyard or the temple there.
At least that is good.
Has anybody gone missing?
No one seeming gone missing that we've seen. The town has gotten slower than it normally has been in the past, but no one's gone missing. Everything is just quiet here. Calm almost. Sleepy is a good word for it.
This is very concerning.
But you look injured. Please, go back to the inn and rest for the night. We can pick up the investigation in the morning. I need to secure the crime scene anyways at Bagdana's house. If it is a murder that you did say.
Again, plant monsters, don't think it was the actual family. Don't listen to the crazy man who looks like he's going to keel over at any second.
I believe you. Just go, rest up. I will find you in the morning.
Okay.
That's every time Afer tries talking, the party's like shushing him.
Afer's looking just confused, and he's like, but we did, but okay.
It's not that you don't have the right to speak. It's just that right now, it would make things worse. Don't salt the meal.
I don't like salt.
So, are you guys actually heading back to the inn, or are you gonna do something else, despite what she's saying?
I'll head back to the inn.
I'll head back to the inn.
Okay.
Yep, heading back.
I'll head back.
Sure.
So, you guys head back to the inn, and when you come in, you realize you don't see Galena behind the bar or anything. It's late, so she might be back in her bed or anything, but you don't notice her anywhere in the bar when you come in.
I'll head up to my room.
Okay. You guys,
I'll follow up.
Okay. You guys find where you're residing for the night, and I assume you take a long rest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I sleep in the alleyway.
Okay. The next morning, you guys wake
Material.
up. What's that?
Oh, I was going to say right before I go to bed, I'm going to take a look at that material and kind of see if I can't analyze it and see if it's,
Yeah.
any kind of substance. If not, I'm going to turn it over to Agni and Vita in the morning and see if maybe from their end they can determine more about it.
Okay. This will be a nature check.
Oh, hell, I'll assist with that before I go to bed.
Well, that's good because you just made it go from a 1 to a 14. So,
from what you can tell, it's definitely plant-based. There doesn't seem to be any animal matter in it. It seems to be some sort of plant matter. Is about as far as you can discern. And looking through it, you don't see anything that would allow it to stand up like it was and be animate. Anything else before you guys go to bed?
No, I'm good.
All right.
okay.
You guys will get your long rest. However, I need everyone to roll me a wisdom saving throw. Or not a wisdom, charisma saving throw, I should say.
Oh boy. This isn't gonna be good for me.
Fuck.
7.
Got a 16.
Nat 20 plus 5, 25.
Ooh, very nice.
I got a 15.
Nat 1.
Verne and Vita. All right, real quick. Aether, you got a nat 1?
Mm-hmm.
All right, mark 2 somewhere on your character sheet. Agni,
15.
15. You passed. Telwyn,
18.
you passed. Thrak, you said you got a 4, if I remember?
7.
7. All right, mark a 1 somewhere on your character sheet.
Okay.
And I'll get to the stuff here in a minute. Vita, you said a natural 20, and Verne.
16.
16. All right. So Aether and Thrak.
Mhm.
The night you dream of the ancient past, you dream of tales that you grew up, or you maybe didn't grow up hearing because neither of you are from this area, but tales that you've heard from people in the area in your time that you've been here, of a heroic monarch who saved his people from a demonic horde, and that despite treachery was able to get the job done and defeat the demons. You guys will wake up who failed. Aether, you will start with 2 temporary HP, and Thrak, you'll start with 1 in the morning when you wake up.
Nice. That's good, right?
That is good. The rest of you guys wake up normally. Your dreams are unintrusive, unremarkable. Because that won't play later into the game. But you wake up and you. Normally, it ends when you wake up. In the morning, you smell like foods like bacon, eggs, and stuff like that cooking. But this morning, you smell something. It doesn't smell necessarily like cooking foods, but you do smell something coming down from the kitchen area. You guys make your way out of your rooms and start heading down. And you see a couple people down eating breakfast. You see a man wearing some brown robes over his winter gear, like a brown cloak, with a crooked cane or crooked staff sort of leaning up against the table. You see a woman with green stains on her fingers, sort of sitting down and eating, and both of them are eating a large bowl of greens. And you see a couple other people, including Janice Davis, the head of the Church of Sune, also eating here this morning. Galena is behind the counter, sort of prepping food, and everyone who comes out gets a bowl of this, like, almost looks like a kale-like substance.
Does it
Vita
look
makes a gag noise.
Does it look similar to this soupy stuff that I've been messing around with in that tube?
It does not, no.
Okay.
The colors are different.
Sorry.
Aether looks at it, goes, "Eh," and then makes a berry for himself and eats it. And you guys realize you've never seen Aether eat anything but these berries. And then you kind of put 2 and 2 together of his gut and realize he's probably only eaten these berries his entire life.
As soon as you ate the berry in the first place, I thought, God, this man has only been surviving off of berries.
Good berries, as a matter of fact.
So as you guys are down there, the man with the shepherd's cane turns his head as he sees you come down. Well, hello! The name is Dmitri. I'm the local shepherd and supply most of the meat to the town. The
Do you meat?
I do not currently. The sheep are not old enough for the butcher yet. But you are the ones looking into strange things, no?
Yes.
My sheep. They are acting strange. They're not eating their plants, they're the grass, or their hay. They are just sort of there.
Are they not?
Well, this is concerning.
I'm gonna walk over to Aether. He's got his little mushroom stick with him or whatever, and I'll be like, maybe you can explain why.
I, d- I don't know if I'm not very familiar with things that are alive. I prefer things that are dead. But I will take a look.
I'm gonna go to like pat your shoulder, and then I realize you're kind of frail, so it'll be like this awkward moment of pat yet touch yet. I'm afraid I'm gonna break you, so I'm gonna try to be nice. Say thanks.
Hmm. You're welcome.
I have many concerns about you.
As do I. I'm a peculiar individual. Let's go check out the sheep.
Yes, if you could do that. They're sort of. Well, I left them out to graze in the fields by the graveyard. Usually the pastures there, hardy winter grass. It's usually good for the grazing during the winter. You know where this is, yes?
We shall check it out.
Da, thank you. Thank you.
Are your sheep facing the east?
Some of them were, if I remember correctly. The other ones were looking at towards the graveyard.
Hmm.
They're sheep. They look where they want. But they're acting odd.
Guys, I don't like the graveyard.
You just said you're more interested in dead things. Now I'm lost. Fill me in here. Sign me
I
up for this.
I like things that are d- dead, but I like things that stay dead.
For once, we can agree upon something.
Yes.
I'll start heading towards the directions he gave us, I guess, for the sheep.
I'll follow in behind.
Same.
All right. So you guys start making your way towards the grazing spot in which Dimitri told you about. Going to look and inquire about his sheep.
Do we notice anything? Well, a lot of things are out of the ordinary in this town, but we see anything that kind of jives with what's been going on? People standing in the middle of the streets looking to the east or whatever.
Every now and again, you'll see what looks to be a couple people seem to be looking off into the direction of the east. Sometimes just staring off as you go further into the town. Sometimes northeast, sometimes southeast, depending on where you're at.
Do they have that trance-like appearance?
Some of them do. It's not always.
Okay.
Or it's not like a catatonic state either. It's just like they look off, like they sort of zone out for a couple minutes and then resume what they're doing.
Can I make a quick check? Just kind of estimate check.
Of what?
I want to make a nature check or survival check that kind of makes to see if I can kind of triangulate where everyone is kind of looking in one place.
Give him guidance when he goes to do this.
And give me a. This will be an insight check.
Insight?
Insight, yeah, as you're trying to piece together the puzzle.
May I use a survival because I am a wanderer background and I'm really good with geography?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Did you get the insight on that?
Or the guidance.
Okay, yes, guidance. Sorry, you threw me off for a second. I was like, what? 17.
17. You're starting to think it might have something to do with the region around the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
As you're starting to sort of get that sort of connection a little bit. Nothing concrete yet, but you have your suspicions.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys approach as you see a stable full of sheep. What is the marching order for this? As the gate for the pasture here is right there. So who is going first here?
I think I was leading the way, unless someone was,
So I'm assuming probably Thrak and Telwyn, being the two like frontliner sort of types.
Mm-hmm.
And then does that look all right for everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you see roughly 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 sheep sort of grazing in the pasture. The ones in the lighter yellow seem to be actually like looking around, grazing and stuff like that. The ones in the green seem to stop every now and again and all universally look in one direction.
Can I look and see which way that they're guessing? Like they're looking and see if it pinpoints with the way everyone else is looking?
Yeah, give me a this will be an insight here because you're close to the area, so geography doesn't really.
I will also make this check because I was beginning to say that, realizing my mic was muted.
21.
21? Yeah. You realize they're looking towards the graveyard.
Yeah, I got a 17, but
Or which direction is the graveyard from where we're at?
The graveyard is this direction.
Okay.
Shall we go around and just hit the graveyard? They all appear to be looking at the graveyard.
let's check the area between the graveyard and the pasture, shall we?
I would rather just go check out the graveyard right away, get that over with.
You gotta make up your mind, Because at first you don't want to go, then you talk about how you like dead things, and then you don't want to go, and now you want to go. I'm not understanding you, man.
And as you
I'm not either.
guys are talking about going to check out the graveyard aloud, you see all of these sheep. Their heads look up, turn directly at you. You see a flash of green behind their eyes as they all at once, and they all charge at the gate, as this will be initiative once more. Thrack.
Well, I guess we'll get some meat this way.
Take inspiration for that, Thrack.
Now, how? Okay, I'm using D&D Beyond dice. How can it be cocked? I don't get that.
They want to have the realistic experience of dice, and so they yeah.
They have
I
it
got an
cocked in
18.
dice?
18. There is, yeah. They can get cocked in the corner, yeah.
So that I
That's
rolled a natural
amazing.
18 plus what, 2?
So if you hit the initiative, it'll automatically add your initiative bonus into it.
No, but you said, well, what did you give me? I'm sorry.
So inspiration.
Inspiration.
So for that,
Great.
uh,
Yeah.
you can hold on to that when you want it,
All
or
right.
you can give it to someone else. That allows
All right.
them to re-roll any d20 roll, or have me, the DM, re-roll one. So say if I get a crit on someone or you can say, hey, use my inspiration and re-roll that. Or if you want to try fishing for a crit, you can roll. Say I want to use my inspiration and roll again to see if you get the crit or something, or if you miss.
All right. I'll hold on to it for now, but I got an 18.
Perfect. Agni,
20.
you said 20.
Yes.
All right, Verne,
Another 19.
Aethir,
11.
Vita.
Dirty 20.
All right, Telwyn.
17.
All right. Agni, you are the first to respond as you see the alien dice sheep sort of looking up at you, and starting to look like they're about to charge. The yellow sheep seem to look like they are getting very nervous, as normal animals would, sensing predators.
I would like to channel divinity, invoke duplicity, please.
Okay.
Just kind of out in the center, I guess, 15 feet in front of, Telwyn. Sorry, I'm like Schneidi. Whoever Schneidi's character is this week.
So Telwyn.
Yeah, Telwyn.
So you put him 15 feet. As I will do.
And that is my action.
Your duplicity will have the blue dot on the top.
Okay.
That way we can tell. Anything else,
Also
Agni?
have hair. She has flamey blue hair.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's it.
All right, Vita, your turn.
Vita will attempt to crossbow sheep number 2.
Sheep number 2 here.
Yep.
All right.
That's a 10 to hit.
10 will just hit. That is AC.
6 damage.
All right, as your crossbow lands true and smashes into it, you see that green ichor sort of seep into the wool of the sheep.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna ask next. Okay. Nothing else for now.
All right, Verne.
I am going to Hunter's Mark number 1.
Okay.
And pulling out my longbow, I'm going to shoot it with the longbow.
Okay. The fence that's around here is a 3-foot-high wooden fence, by the way. That seems not in great repair.
That's definitely going to hit. That's a 24.
Yep. A number 1, you said?
Yes.
And you said you hunters marked it, correct?
Correct. So I have an additional D6. Great! 5 points of damage as I roll 1s on both dice.
Oh, no.
All right, as that one is hunter's marked. As you do 5 points of damage on it. All right, anything else there?
Nope, got nothing else.
All right, Thrak, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna rage,
Okay.
and then if I can, I want to jump over the fence and attack number 1.
All right, easy enough with your movement. You just sort of hop the fence, coming down with your axe.
Okay.
Sort of one fluid movement.
10.
10 is AC.
Oh wow, that hit.
Yeah, 10 hits.
Well, hold on for a second. That's not right. No.
Yeah, it looks like you rolled a 2 on die with the D12.
Okay.
Uh,
Was 6 points of damage.
Yep, and then your rage bonus adds an additional 2.
So
8 points.
Yep.
Solid damage, even with a low roll.
Thank you. I gotta get used to this. This is the first time I've played a barbarian in a while, so.
Barbarians are honestly my all-time favorite class in D&D. They're just a lot of fun. A lot of math, though. Like, deceptively a lot of math for barbarians. But they are a lot of fun. So anything else there, Thrak? As you come down, you jump the fence. Great axe coming down as you get a glancing blow across the shoulder of the sheep. As you raise through with it, you see a green line of ichor seeping into the wool.
I don't want this meat.
All right.
That's it.
Next up, Telwyn.
I am going to move that 5-foot step into...
So it'll be
Yep.
if you're stepping over the fence, it'll take 10 feet of movement total.
Okay, nope, that's fine. I just wanted to use... And is that the entry point there that we're standing at?
Yep, you could open up the gate or step over the gate. It's your call.
Okay, I'll just step over it, and I will hold my action to see if one of these things tries to charge by me to get out the gate, because we don't want them out the gate.
Okay. Sounds good. Next up is their turn. Number 1 is going to attempt to hit Thrak, as Thrak is the closest thing to it. It rears up onto its hind legs in a weird sort of bipedal sheep look, as with its curling horns is going to try to headbutt you, Thrak.
Okay.
That'll get a 21 to hit.
Ooh. Yeah, that hits.
For 4 points of bludgeoning damage on this one, as it rolled pretty low for the hit, or for the damage.
Is that halved?
So you'll take 2 points halved.
Okay.
Next up, the next creature, number 2. It is going to... This one is going to try to rush and attack the duplicity. It just goes right through it as it tries to attack it. Next up is going to be number 3. This one is going to break the fence on this side. So it's 10. 20. I can't dash because it broke the fence. Next up, number 4. 15. It's going to break the fence once more right there. And next up, number 5. Is going to attempt to attack the illusion and fail. Aphir, it is your turn.
Well, I had a plan, but the sheep fucked it up. So Aphir is going to then. You said which ones were friendly and which ones were foes?
So it seems like all of the yellow ones that haven't moved yet seem to be nervous and seem to be trying to shy away from the darker green ones.
Cool. I want to cast Animal Friendship on number 1.
On this one or this one? Like the actual
Number 1. The actual sheep.
Okay, so is that a range or a touch?
30 feet.
Alright, so you cast it. What does that spell do?
This spell, one sec, let me not stutter for this. This spell lets you convince a beast that you mean it no harm. Choose a beast you can see within range. It must see and hear you. If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, it fails. Otherwise, the beast must succeed a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you for the duration, which is 24 hours.
Alright, yeah. You just see its eyes sort of glass over.
It has to make a wisdom save.
The sheep is... Well, let's see. It gets a nat 20. Bah?
Good.
Even the sheep don't like you.
Oh.
Anything else, Aphir? It bleats right back at you. Bah.
No.
Alright.
Because I can't do anything else.
With that, all of these sheep are going to take... They're all going to... They're all going to try huddling up in the corner here. As far away from the action as they can. Agni, it is your turn.
Okay, oh gosh. Okay, so the one that has the hunter's mark, is that the only one that's taken damage so far?
No, number 2 has also taken some damage.
Okay, sorry, I'm new for casting.
No, you're totally fine.
I'm trying to make sure if what the range is. Okay. The one that has the hunter's mark on it.
Okay.
I would like to have my duplicity pretend to cast Toll the Dead.
Okay.
That is a wisdom saving throw, DC 13.
It gets an 18 on die, so it passes. So no damage, unfortunately. Anything else?
Okay.
Low-level casting is really rough for saves.
Yeah, right. No, that's it.
Okay. Vita, it is your turn.
I'm going to take as much movement as needed to see if I can get in range to Eldritch Blast number 3.
you're in range just from where you're standing. You have 120-foot range with Eldritch Blast.
Yep, and the fence
Nice.
is only a 3-foot tall fence, so you can definitely see it over.
Awesome. All right, time for an Eldritch Blast.
That's one of the best things about Eldritch Blast. It's especially nice if you later take the Eldritch Invocation that makes it 300 feet, and then take Spell Sniper, because that then doubles it.
Yep.
So it's like,
Yeah, we'll see what I do.
600 feet away, I hit it with Eldritch Blast.
Yep. As it's also easier to hit these sheep too, as these ones have sort of lost all pretense of pretending to be sheep and are all standing on their hind legs and the like.
Got it. 13 to hit.
That'll hit.
9 damage.
9 damage. All right. Anything else?
Would it be an action to randomly shout something?
Nope. Free action to talk.
Alrighty. I am going to say in Sylvan, I'll head this one off on the right.
Okay. Very nice. Anything else?
No.
All right. Verne.
Verne's just going to look over you and be like, what? And then I'm going to shoot number 1 with my bow. As I do not speak Sylvan, so I have no idea what you just said.
Sounded pretty, though, because Sylvan is a
True.
very beautiful language.
Oops.
Are you speaking gibberish?
All right, what'd you get to hit there, Verne?
26.
That'll over double its AC, so yeah, it hits.
Let's try this again. That's much better. That's 15 points of damage.
15 points. That is enough to drop that one.
Perfect. That means I can use my bonus action to move Hunter's Mark to number 2.
Okay. Move it to number 2.
And now I'm done.
All right, Thrak, it is your turn.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and go for number 2. Attack number 2.
Okay.
If I move up a little bit and hit it. I can't. What is that? 6 plus 6 is 12.
That'll
plus 15. Okay. 4, 7.
And then add
Okay.
2 damage for your rage.
So 9.
And that is on number 2. So you come through a roar and your rage. You come down, slash through. You shear a good chunk of the wool off of this one. As it's still up though, but green ichor is spilling out of it. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, Telwyn, your turn. Your held action does not go off as none of them made it for the gate.
Okay, I'll move into that 5-foot square in front of me, yes. And I'll turn around and glance back, move forward, and I'll speak in Sylvan. There's one coming around the left side of the gate too. It broke through.
Okay. As you shout that out to
Or
Vita.
left side of the yard there, broke through the fence. And I'll attack the one that has the mark on it.
Okay. So number 2.
14 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 11 damage.
That is just enough to end that one. As you come up, you yell out at Sylvan as you push your sword in and you plunge it deep into its chest. With a twist, you pull it out. Green goo following the blade as you pull it out as this one slumps to the ground and gelatinizes is, I believe, the proper way to say it.
I'm going to look at the crack and be like, yeah, you probably don't want to eat that.
Anything else there, Telwyn?
No, I'm good.
All right, number 3. 1, 2, 3. This one gets right up into melee with you, Vita, but it does not have the ability to attack this turn, as you had to use its dash to get to you. Number 4. This one gets right up to Aphir as well, but cannot do anything because it used its action to dash. Number 5, though, is then going to attempt to attack Talwyn, and that's going to be a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 7 points of bludgeoning damage. As this one whips its cloven off foot at you, clipping you in the side of the head. Aphir, it is your turn.
I'm going to... I wonder... Shit, I should have looked at this earlier. But, well, I'm going to... bonus action Shillelagh. And beat this stupid thing.
Go for it.
That is a yeet.
I forgot you have those dice.
Yes.
And that is number 4 on you.
Yes. Let me look something up real quick. This could be something different. Sorry, I should have looked this up beforehand. No. Okay, never mind. I wasn't sure if my Halo... Oh, wait! It entered! I can do that. That one, I am gonna have it when it entered my 10-foot.
You never activated it.
That's a passive I have. Activate it doubles it.
Okay.
I have the Halo of Spores. You can use your reaction to do that, and then Symbiotic Entity that doubles the damage.
Okay.
So it needs to make a con save.
All right. I'll allow it this turn, but next turn you gotta actually catch it when it walks in.
Apologies.
Nope, you're fine. That is an 8.
Fails. It takes 1 point of necrotic damage.
All right.
But I do roll 12 points of magical bludgeoning to it.
All right, as you shillelagh, I'm guessing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as you bash it in. It's still standing. That green ichor sort of splatters across the snow at your feet. Anything else?
No, that's everything.
All right, Agni, your turn.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that the one that my duplicity is by is not fooled anymore. So I am going to bonus action move my duplicity, and it will move 15 feet to the right and then 15 feet up. So it'll be just to the left of Vita. Wait, that's Vita up there, right?
It's right there.
No, up on the side of her.
So right there.
Yes, right there. And then I am going to move to the other side of her. It's going to be very symmetric.
Okay.
And since we're both within 5 feet of that mob, I have advantage with my mace. I'm just going to try to melee it.
Sounds good.
Oh, that's probably not good. Only a 9.
A 9 will just barely miss.
Okay, that's it. I'm just going to try to look confusing.
Okay. Yeah. Vita, as the Agni twins sort of show up next to you to attack this thing, it is your turn.
Alrighty. Sort of changed what I was planning to do, but let's go with an Eldritch Blast.
Okay, you'll be at disadvantage as it's within 5 feet of you.
Yeah.
Are you targeting that one or on the different one?
Sorry, I'm targeting number 3.
Okay, cool.
Still pretty decent. I mean, 8.
8 will unfortunately miss, however. As you're almost there, you're aiming. You think you would have had it, and then you catch the Agni twin sort of attacking and looking very confusing next to you, and it distracts you for the briefest of seconds as you go a little wide with your attack. Anything else there?
Sorry, I should have warned you about that.
It's fine. Alrighty, that's it.
All right, Verne, it is your turn.
I will. Now that there's some closer sheep, I'm gonna pull out my short sword instead.
Okay.
I will move Hunter's Mark to number 4, and then I'll go over and attempt to stab.
Okay.
That's definitely gonna hit. That's an 18 on die.
Yep.
I like how I can basically turn a short sword into a great sword worth of damage with Hunter's Mark.
Absolutely.
9 points of piercing damage.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's all I got.
All right. As he is still up, as you stab and don't pull it out, the sickening goo following. Thrak, it is your turn.
Has number 4 been hit yet? But no, that's number 5.
Number
right?
5. Number 5. Let's see here. Number 5 has not.
Okay. I will. I'll attack number 5 with my great axe.
All right. As we rectify that issue of it not being hit.
17 hit.
17 will hit. Yeah.
Okay.
As a barbarian at level 2, you do have the ability as well to reckless attack to gain advantage on all attacks. So you can roll 2d20 and take whatever's higher. However, everything would have advantage against you. It's sort of a high risk, high reward thing. So that's if you would like to do so.
Yeah, no, I'll just stay just regular raged.
That sounds wonderful.
Okay. 8 damage total.
8 damage. All right. Sounds good. As you come in and you take a colossal hit as you rake into it. It's still standing, but the snow is spattered. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, Telwyn, it is your turn.
I will attack it.
All right.
12 to hit.
12 will hit.
For 5 points of damage.
All right, anything else?
No.
All right. Number 3 goes as, let's see, roll that. It is going to try to attempt to attack Vita here. Vita does a 14 hit you.
14 is my armor class.
So it will hit you. You'll take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as this thing rears its head back and smashes into your chest.
All right.
Next up, number 4. That one is going to attempt to hit Virne. And that one will be a 22 to hit.
Just a tad.
You'll take 7 points of bludgeoning damage there. And the one, number 5, even or odds, Telwyn. All right, Thrak, even or odds?
Odds.
All right, so it's going after Telwyn this turn instead of you. Telwyn, does a 16 hit you?
That's my armor class.
All right. You'll take 5 points of bludgeoning damage from this thing. Next up, Aether, it is your turn.
Quick thing. I'm very mad now because my Hunter's Mark is gone because I lost concentration.
Oh, bummer.
By 1. Missed it by 1.
Aether, it is your turn.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm going to How is this sheep thing looking?
The number 4 one that you're on looks very rough.
I'm going to shillelagh and beat it.
All right.
Does a 18 hit?
18 will hit, yes.
Wow, for minimum damage of 3.
3. All right. It is barely standing on its feet. Anything else?
Nope. Action. Bonus action.
All right. Agni, your turn.
Damn it, it started its turn in my thing. Oh well.
Yeah. I need to check out Vita. Vita, how are you doing? Are you getting kind of hurt? I don't like this.
Vita is at 10 points.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Just so you know, Aaron, Shillelagh lasts a minute after you cast it.
That's a good thing to know. I don't play druids.
Okay, I'm going to bonus action Shield of Faith
Okay.
on Vita.
So Vita, you get to add +2 to your AC for the current time. And that's your
Noted.
That's your bonus action to do that, if I remember.
Yeah, that's my bonus action. And then I'm going to try to take another swing at him. At that number 3.
Okay.
With my mace again. Oh, I hit him this time. 11.
You do. Absolutely, you hit him.
5 damage.
5 points of damage. All right. He's still up, but very hurt. Anything else?
Nope.
Vita, it is your turn.
I will switch to the short sword and take a swing.
All right.
Nat 1 with +4 equals 5.
So as you go to swing, you accidentally swipe right through the illusionary Agni as you swing wide with your short sword. Not quite used to the weight. Anything else there, Vita?
No.
Okay. Verne, your turn.
I'm now very angry at this sheep that it made me lose concentration. I'm going to stab it.
Okay.
But since it's not looking great, I'm gonna go with just the 1 for now. That's 11 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 6 points of piercing damage.
That one liquefies.
Wonderful. I'm gonna have just enough movement to get to number 3, moving through the duplicate.
15, 20, 30. Yep.
And use the bonus action to stab that one.
Okay.
That's a natural 20.
That'll definitely hit.
Finally getting some crits in there. For 6 points of piercing damage.
6 points. All right. That one is still up. Anything else there, Verne?
Nope.
All right, Thrak, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to keep chopping away at number 5 here.
Okay.
17 to hit.
A 17 will hit.
Was Uh, 17 points of damage.
You come in a wonderful, powerful swing with a roar, and you just cut its head clean off. The ichor sort of spattering around as it drops dead and gelatinifies. Anything else, or
Was she?
It does sort of feel like hitting a giant thing of jello when they finally die. Like they're very solid until that last second.
That's all I've got.
All right, Telwyn, your turn.
I'm gonna look at Thrak for a second and be like, "Hey, nice artwork," and then I'm gonna move up to the. As I look on my shield and see it's kind of splattered all over in some decorative fashion, I'm gonna move up to. Is that orange or yellow that's by the fence
Right
there?
here?
Yeah, that spot right there.
That is the illusion of agony.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna move into the spot that's inside the fence there. So it's right next.
5, 15.
No, inside the fence.
Oh,
I don't want
okay.
to. Yeah, right there.
So 5, 10.
Because I will switch weapons as I'm moving and throw my hand axe at that thing.
Sound good? Or sounds good.
13 to hit.
13 will hit.
It's dex-based damage for a hand axe, right? For bonus.
Yes.
8 points of damage.
Or no, strength base for that, so.
Oh, okay. Then it's 10.
10. As that one gelatinifies too. As combat comes to an end. The fence is broken in several places. The sheep that are still remaining are cowering in the corner, afraid of the creatures that you just dispatched. What are you guys doing?
Does anybody know how to calm a sheep? And maybe we can fix the fence?
We should at least fix the fence.
I could get some sort of trying to calm cheap.
I've got animal handling, if that helps.
Between that and what do you have, Aphir?
Animal friendship.
I'll give Thrax guidance when he goes to try to help calm the animals.
Okay. So Thrak, do you want to give me an animal handling check, and do you want to roll your and then your animal friendship? Is that a spell?
No, it's under wisdom.
Okay. Aphir, were you doing the spell, or were you trying to do an animal handling?
Animal friendship is a spell.
Okay. Thrak, what did you get for your animal handling?
7.
Did you roll a d4 with it and add it?
So 11.
Okay. And Aphir, is that the charm one? Or is that just animals are more not enough. What is that spell? I'm not familiar with.
Animal friendship. That's the thing I tried casting earlier.
Okay. Is that single target or multi?
Single target.
Okay. So between the two of you, you casting the spell and then the animal handling, you do tend to calm the sheep. It's not that hard of a check, as they're quite simple animals. You get them calmed down to the point and where you can easily work in the pen. And
Anybody have mending?
Nope.
Does not appear so.
Not take that.
That's a sad.
So it looks like you're going to have to find a way to use actual tools to fix the fence if that's your goal.
I don't have any actual tools to fix a fence.
Well, I have some tools. I have some.
I have a hammer.
Tinker tools.
Tinker tools would not be enough to work on this, as tinker tools are for small things. Does anyone have woodworking proficiency or tools? Or anything that would be related to that?
I have a hammer. I was not able to go by the blacksmith and get nails.
I mean, you could run to the blacksmith right
Sorry,
now
we
if you
got
would like, while the party is keeping the sheep in the pen. If you'd like to go by yourself.
Can't we just get some sticks and kind of just like makeshift part of the wall?
You could definitely do that as well.
I think that's a better plan.
Would it keep the sheep in the pen?
And they don't look
To,
like they're really going to go anywhere.
to be honest, the sheep aren't really our problem.
I mean, yeah, but I don't really want the sheep running out on their owner.
They probably won't go very far, even if they do run. They are farm animals.
That's fair. They know where
good
their
point.
food comes from.
They're prisoners.
They know where their food comes from.
Are you threatening the sheep?
No, I'm stating that they are prisoners and they should be free.
Well, that's another vote for just simply leaving the sheep be.
The sheep will be fine. Let's go to the graveyard and try to figure out this mess.
Agreed.
Okay.
Does anybody think that with whatever's going on, that like the land's tainted in some fashion? Like the land itself is tainted?
Possibly, but the only way we can really fix that is find the source, which seems to be in the graveyard.
Also, apparently doesn't seem to be able to speak the fairy language, so I highly doubt that at this level it is
So
related
that's
to
what
the
you
fae.
were? Oh, that's what you were
Yes.
speaking? That's such a weird
Yes.
language. I had no
Oh
clue what you
well.
were saying.
Oh well. Now you know what I was doing.
All I heard was blah, blah, blah.
Yes, that's correct. Let's move.
Of course. Just, yes.
And she's
I'm
just
gonna
gonna
have
strut forward.
Bernie,
Screw the sheep.
Verne just then thinks for a second and then goes, well, I guess it's really not any weirder than some of the languages I know.
I'm gonna ask somebody on the other side of the fence if they'll just grab my hand axe in there and pick it up. I appreciate it. If somebody
I will grab your hand axe and hand it to you.
thanks, I'm gonna wipe it clean. My little fancy rag.
Ken, how long are we going to be going tonight?
Not too much longer here.
Okay.
So, you guys start picking up your weapons and debating on the tainted stuff. Vita, where are you marching to at this point as you start to saunter off?
I am going to head in the direction of the graveyard, as that's where we said we were headed, but I will wait just a little bit to see if anyone is going to follow. We're doing this or we're not.
I'll
Right,
follow.
behind you.
All
I
right.
follow.
Yeah.
And my
As we're walking, I'm going to use my healing hands feature and give myself 2 hit points.
Okay.
I'm gonna heal myself with a spell for 6.
Okay.
Is everybody else still pretty hurt? Vita, you took some damage, right?
The HP level is 15, and Vita is at 10. Minorly hurt.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. As you guys walk towards the graveyard and heal up, heading to what could very well be a something sinister, maybe even the get to the bottom of what's going on in the city. This is where we're going to leave off for the night. As you see the abandoned temple in the distance, a couple mausoleums and crypts sticking out above the ground. pristine snow all throughout. Thank you so much for playing, everyone, tonight. It has been absolutely wonderful. Thrak, welcome. Welcome so much to the game. It was great having you tonight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was a
Mhm.
pleasure to play. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for welcoming me.
Hey, you are very welcome. We hope to see you again next week. So this has been very
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, no problem.
I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. I know it wasn't nearly as a downer as last week's, story wise.
What, making me cry again? God.
All right, I'm going to get off. I'm dead tired.
All right.
Are we leveling up, Ken?
Not tonight. Possibly
Okay.
next week after you finish.
All
Everyone
right.
at home,
I'm gonna
everyone at home watching, thank you so much for watching. This